Hey, in this video we're going to take a look at how you can use Betmix to handicap a race pretty quickly. It's easy and it's also very accurate, and this is just one way you can use all the different tools and data that we have available. And I think for a lot of people, they're looking for something that's kind of quick, not too involved, and that's fine. And then of course other people who are digging into this are looking at all the different tools we have. So this is just one way you can jump right in, handicap a race, and have a pretty good shot at hitting it. So this uses the ranking method, and just to refresh you a little bit about the ranking method, we have these four check boxes up here, and it's looking at last finish, length, speed last race, and class difference. And those are there by default, and they're checked by default. And so every time you open up a race, you're going to see those four factors, or those four pieces of information checked, and those things are used to compute this score right here. And how that works is if you're ranked first in something, you have a 1. If you're ranked second, you have a 2. If you're ranked third, you have a 3, and then it multiplies all those out. So the lower the score, the better. So if you were ranked first in everything, let's just uncheck all of these but class difference. So you can see that now the score is 1 over here because this one has the biggest class difference. He's coming into this. This is an easier race for him, and this is a very hard, much harder race for this horse, number 4. And then if you add another one in, you can see that speed last race, this horse is also ranked first there. So he's ranked first there, and he's ranked first here. So that's 1 times 1, and that results in a score of 1. And then this one may be second and third, so that's 2 times 3 is 6. So again, as you add all of these in, you get the score over here. Again, the lower the better. So in this method, what we're going to do is we're going to uncheck these two boxes, lengths and speed last race. We're going to keep the last finish position and the class difference in there. And then all we do is we go down here and we're going to look at certain factors: speed, pace, earnings, trainer, jockey, pedigree, form, class. But we only want to use them if they're a top 10 factor. By default, we're looking at all factors here, and you can see them ranked from first all the way down to 45th. So we only want to look at factors that are ranked within the top 10 in various categories. So what we're going to do, we're going to click on the speed tab, and we're going to find the top ranked factor in speed, which in this case for this particular race is average speed last 3. And we can also see that it's ranked 5, so it is a top 10 factor. So we want to add that factor to our scoring system up here, and that's very easy to do. You click this plus button and it pops in up here, average speed last 3. So that's now part of the score. We're using last finish, class difference, and average speed last 3. All three of them have that checkbox by it, and so the score is being computed using those 3 factors. Then we'll skip over to the pace tab, and we'll see if there's a top 10 factor here. There is. It's the top factor in pace is ranked 6th overall, and it's last late pace. And so again, we'll click the plus button, and so we've added that factor. Now we'll go to earnings. The top earnings factor is ranked 15th, so we're not going to use it. We're going to skip it since it's not a top 10 factor. Then we'll go to trainer jockey. We'll see that the number 1 overall factor is jockey current meet, and so we're going to use that one. Now we've got that one added. Now we'll go to pedigree. The top factor in pedigree is ranked 18th, so we're going to skip that. We'll go to form. Again, the top factor in form is ranked 17th. We'll skip that one. And finally, we'll go to class. And we see that average last 3 race classes is the top ranked factor here, but it's ranked 12th, so we're going to skip that one. So what we end up with is these 3 factors that we've added: average speed last 3, last late pace, and jockey current meet. Those are the top 10 factors, or those are among the top 10 factors, and we're using one from each group down here, assuming that they're in the top 10. So we have those 3 plus our 2 original here, and that gives us this final score right here. And it puts the 6 on top. So if you follow along on your screen on the free race of the day, and you can always get to the free race of the day by clicking up here, free horse races, and then go to bird dog free race. You can use this method every day for free if you're not a subscriber. If you are a subscriber, you have to be a monthly subscriber to use Bird Dog, and you can handicap all the races this way. So so now the ranks. So what do you do with this? Well, you'll start to get a feel for how closely they're ranked. The scores are going to be higher if there's more factors you used. Sometimes you'll find a qualifying factor across each one of these. So the more factors you have, the scores are going to be bigger because you're multiplying more things. But in this race, it looks like the 6 is a very strong contender, and then the 2, 4, and 5 underneath that, and then you get down when you get down to 7, 1A, 3, 1, and 2B. These numbers go up pretty high. So a simple way to use this to handicap, if you had 30 seconds to handicap the race, you went through and made all these things, all these changes. The 6 would be your primary play, and you could do some exactas and trifectas and even a superfecta with those underneath it. 6, 2, 4, 5 exacta box or something like that. But the 6 would be your top play, and then you'll judge based on how closely they are ranked in the scoring column how strong of a play that is. So this is just one method, a simple method. It's not going to work every race, nothing does, but in the long run, it's going to put you on a lot of solid horses, and it's a good way to also evaluate the race. If you find that all of the horses, after adding your factors, are very closely ranked, then you might say that this is a pretty unpredictable race. So this is just one way to look at it. Feel free to modify this method as much as you see fit. You may want to go to the top 15 factors. You may want to include them if they're in the top 20. There's a lot of ways you can do this, but it's just kind of to get you familiar with adding factors to the scoring method and what the scoring method is. I think you'll find that this is a good way to kind of get familiar with everything, how to use these features up here, and what the factors are down here across the various categories. And it should provide you with a pretty solid way to handicap that doesn't take much time at all. Best of luck. Thanks.